And let's do it.
Hello!
Oh.
Hello!
Hello. Carnival is a really big deal in Germany. If you want to know what it is about and all the things you should know so you don't mess up like I did, I need to swallow my shot, then stick around for this video where we will go into detail what Carnival in Germany means. Hey, my name is Jen and I'm from Guatemala.
And my name is Yvonne and I'm German.
And together we're from Simple Germany, where we help you settle into life in Germany more smoothly.
Oh my god. Additionally to our YouTube channel, we also run our website simplegermany.com, where we have written in-depth guides on topics that we also don't cover on YouTube. We are convinced they also help you navigate life in Germany, and feel free to check them out.
Yes, now to the video. Whoa. Let's calm down a little bit. Let's first clarify a few things. First of all, what is Carnival in Germany?
Well, Carnival in Germany is often referred to as the 5th season, and it's pretty much a time to go crazy, to let loose, to have fun, to dance, to get dressed up, and to drink a lot of alcohol.
Yes, I would say depending on the region, your celebration might be super crazy or not as crazy. We will talk about that in a little bit.
Yes.
But first, a little bit of history. So where does Carnival come from? So I did the research on this, so let me put my research goggles. Let's see if I remember things correctly. According to the research, the first record of Carnival in Cologne, which is the epicenter of Carnival in Germany, was in 1220. So that's a very, very long time ago. And also records show, not in 1220, maybe sometimes throughout the years, that in this area by the Rhine, there would be tons of spring festivals to celebrate the end of winter. I understand them because winter is very long. And during these celebrations, in some areas, they would even celebrate to commemorate the goddess of wine. So as an excuse probably to drink a lot of wine during this time. And then came the Catholics. So the Catholics came to this region and then they saw these celebrations and they're like, oh, this celebration looks really cool. And actually, coincidentally enough, it lands shortly before Lent. So if you're not Catholic, like we're not Catholic, Lent is 40 days before Easter, which is another celebration, where Catholics tend to abstain themselves from drinking alcohol, meat, and maybe other things. So it's a kind of like a cleanliness and reflection time. And before this Lent time, the Catholic Church said like, then let's celebrate kind of like before we enter Lent. But things got twisted during the, maybe the years that people saw it as like the last party before actually abstaining yourself from anything.
Alcohol.
Exactly. So actually people started wearing costumes to hide their identity because they would start doing things that maybe they would not normally do and they didn't want people to know who they were. And also they used this time to criticize the government and maybe the church, also being hidden behind a costume. So Carnival, as we know it today in 2022, is a mixture of all of these things. It is still a celebration of the end of winter.
Although winter is not always over when it is.
That is very true. Unfortunately, sometimes you celebrate Carnival during winter, which is not as fun. It is still, people use costumes and it's still political. And there's a lot of alcohol to celebrate. Well, there is no goddess to celebrate. It's just alcohol pretty much. So now that we know the history a little bit, now we can jump into more of like what regions or where Carnival is celebrated in Germany.
All right. So as Jen just said, the epicenter of Carnival in Germany is Cologne. There is no doubt about that. However, it goes beyond Cologne. So the Rhineland per se, which is the area, let's say like from Bonn-ish, so south of Cologne, to Düsseldorf-ish, north of Cologne, that is kind of like the epicenter of Carnival, plus neighboring villages and communities. So I don't want to exclude them, but the biggest ones are Cologne, Düsseldorf as cities, Bonn as well, and also Mainz, which is not part of the Rhineland. It's actually a bit further south, but they also have a very big celebration.
Yes. Before we talk about the crazy Carnival, a big disclaimer. Carnival can also be referred to as
Fasching, Fastnacht, Fasteloven. There are multiple names for it.
Yes, and for this Fasching and Fastnacht, this is also celebrated in the south of Germany. And I would say the south of Germany celebrates Carnival as well, but not like the Rhinish people. And they tend to be a little bit more reflective on their actions and a little bit more traditionalist and not as
it's just calmer, I would
hectic.
say.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no offense to that part of Germany. We're obviously focused on the Rhinish here Carnival.
Yes.
So how big is the Carnival in this area?
So it is huge. I would say it is really huge economically, but also by the amount of people that are involved. And here we have to really specify and differentiate between the carnival that you and us see, like the craziness that we have been referring to, but also actually the carnival that involves all of the Karnevalsvereine, like the traditional clubs of carnival. And there are an abundance of them, and they are very serious about the business of carnival, the traditions, the customs, and keeping that alive. So as of today, according to the official German Association of Carnival, there are 2.6 million members in carnival clubs.
Wow.
And there are 5,300 different carnival clubs across Germany, with the majority, of course, being in the Rhineland.
Oh, wow.
That just expresses like the intensity of the topic. And believe me, if you are talking to a hardcore carnivalist, that's like the German word, carnivalist, and you say, it's just the craziness, they will be offended.
Yes.
So there is two sides to the story.
To the story, yes.
This video, however, will focus on the craziness because that's just kind of like what I got to know growing up, because my family was not hardcore, and that's what Jen also got to know.
Yeah, because I would say as a newcomer in Germany, you don't know that there are Vereins, right? You just see the crazy things happening. We touch a little bit on the traditional sense of it, because we will explain in which days people celebrate traditionally. But obviously the focus is going to be on the party days, which is pretty much what you're interested in, I guess. I'm kidding. If you're a carnivalist, I'm sorry. When does carnival start in Germany?
Very good question, because it actually starts earlier than you might think. It doesn't only happen in the period before Lent, but it actually starts on November 11th at 11 a.m. and 11 minutes. So you can see 11 is a very important number surrounding Carnival, and that is the official kickoff for the season, and also when all the clubs, the Karnevalsvereine, actually start their sessions and processions and meetings and practices from November 11th till the actual end of Carnival, which will be discussed later.
Yes. So we will start talking about the most important celebration days of Carnival, and we will start with November 11th.
November 11th, woohoo! That is when the first day of craziness starts.
Yes. So first of all, let's just clarify something.
Yes.
So I can't see you with my little costume. So one thing is that you will find Germans that absolutely love Carnival,
Yes.
and others that absolutely hate it.
And actually travel away if they live in the region. So November 11th, as we said, it starts at 11 a.m. at 11, and that's when pretty much everything starts. Like you pop open the bottles, the big celebration starts, and usually this is mainly celebrated in Cologne.
Yes.
And our outfits kind of already show it is an outdoor street festivity.
Yes.
We are wearing these super loose, relatively warm, seal costumes, which you can put beautifully over warm, thick clothes, which
Yes.
you need because it's winter and you're going to be outside the entire time.
Yes, that's a very good point. It is a street festival. And for that means that you will meet at one of the most popular plazas in Cologne. There's going to be a stage, there's live music, there's the introduction of Carnival, and at 11:11, the party starts. But at 11:11, already people are drunk, I must say. I have seen group of grannies, literally, they're like grannies, who have drank a keg of beer already, and they're at their second one at 11:11. That's how crazy it is, right? And after the big celebration, usually the pubs open up as well, and you mainly celebrate outside.
Yes.
And maybe in the afternoon, you might go to a bar or a pub to dance a little bit for the favorite Schlager carnival music.
Karnevalsmusik.
Which is a little bit like Schlager, no?
A little bit.
Yeah. I hope I'm not offending people here. So once you have totally gotten wasted, celebrated fully Carnival on the 11th, then it seems that nothing happens.
Exactly. It's a daytime party, so you should be home, in time to go to bed latest. And that's it. Then the street festivities and the craziness stops for 1, 2, sometimes 3 months.
Yeah.
And then it continues.
Yes, and the next celebration is on Fat Thursday, or in German,
Weiberfastnacht.
let's go.
Weiberfastnacht!
Hey!
So Weiberfastnacht is a Thursday, Fat Thursday, and it is the official beginning of the continuous 6-day street carnival or also indoor carnival that happens 40 days before Lent. So it could be February, it could be March. It's usually in this time of year, depending on when Easter is. And
Yes. So you might see a motto already. And carnival costumes tend to be playful, funny, full of colors. It's nothing like you go out there like with Halloween costumes that are scary and stuff. Actually, clowns are very popular, but not the scary clowns, but like traditional clowns. So it's a very playful kind of time that you can wear funny costumes. This is my dinosaur costume. I don't know if you can see it. And this is Yvonne's mermaid costume.
You got to bow.
I got to bow to the dinosaur.
So what happens on Weiberfastnacht? So it is the day of the woman power. And also here it starts at 11 in the morning. And this is when actually women beforehand congregate in front of the city hall of a city. And then they like invade the city hall at 11:11, kind of like take it into their control, kind of like kick the men out. And very, very important, tradition has it that we women take our scissors and cut off the ties of the men.
Yes, but in return, the men get a kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
so
bützier.
don't forget that part.
Yeah, a bützier, but we'll get into vocabulary later on.
Yes.
So that is actually, for me, it was always important in my office, because in my office we celebrate Carnival, that I would be the first one actually cutting the tie of my boss, because the tip of the tie is the biggest trophy.
Ah, okay. So the shorter the tie is, the less important it
And
is.
if you live in this area and you are a man and you are in some sort of position that you might get faced by a woman storming at you, just wear an old tie on that day, because you shouldn't be sad that it gets cut off.
Yes, that's true. Also talking about work, if you're also in a company that celebrates Carnival, not all companies celebrate Carnival here in the Rhineland, but if you are in one, most likely people are going to stop working at 11, no, actually at 11, and prepare a little something and turn on the TV maybe, so they can also see at 11:11 the initiation of the 6-day carnival party. Yep. Also, people might be drinking Sekt or
beer,
sparkling wine, beer. They might bring some Kröpfe or donuts. They're like filled donuts. So don't be surprised, right? Also, if on that day you see a lot of people with costumes, and don't be surprised if suddenly the whole office seems to stop. And even some offices might let you leave after that. It really depends on how carnivalist your company is.
Yeah. So my company, exactly what Jen just described, all of that happened. We even turned on some music, some carnival songs. We sang, we danced a little bit. We even did the Bolognese, you know, when you form like the Congo line, but in German it's called Bolognese, and you like walk through the office. And the few employees, the few colleagues that wouldn't like carnival, they were like, oh my God, these crazy people. Exactly. But you know, that's just it. Best thing to do is to embrace it.
Yes, I totally agree. So as a word of warning, on this day, if you're going to be on the streets, you might want to wear something warm like this one. This was pretty warm. I'm actually kind of sweating already.
You can also wear clothes underneath.
Where you can also wear clothes underneath. And if you want to go into a Brauhaus, which is very popular to go into this breweries or special bars and clubs, because the whole motto of the whole week is going to be Carnival, regardless of where you go. And you might wear something like Yvonne, which is a little bit more light. So
airy,
when you're inside,
with my sexy here, mermaid legs.
There you go. So when you're inside, you're not sweating your tushy off, as I have done in the past. Carnival Friday! Yay! Yeah, that is exactly what happened to me and my friends. So we would unfortunately not able to take the Carnival Thursday off. So we decided to go party on Friday. And hold and behold, we were the only kind of like ridiculous people in the Altstadt dressed up. And everything else was, as I like to say, zappenduster, meaning there was nothing going on. I'm like, where are all the party people? On Thursday, I had seen and read that there were these big music boxes on the street. People were dancing. It was very loud, tons of people. And here we were, and there was no one there. Why?
Well, either on Friday people are actually back to work, or more likely they are in their house clothes at home, recovering, sleeping long, you know, chilling, recovering from the hard party on Thursday, and preparing for what's yet to come.
Oh my God, I didn't even know this, right? At the end of the night, we actually ended up going to an Irish bar, and then there were some dressed up people there too, and we had kind of like a carnival party. It was a carnival party, there was carnival music, but I would say the majority of us were international people. All the Germans were not there.
If there are Germans that celebrate on Friday, please let us know, because I have never known of a party that happens on Friday.
Yeah, I would say parties happen, but they're not as big as the one on Thursday, for example, that we talked about.
Probably.
And if you're wondering what my costume is, it is German on vacations. Carnival Saturday! Woo! Also known as
Nelkensamstag.
So for this occasion, we are actually wearing our Ninja Turtle costumes, if you have not realized. So what happens on Carnival Saturday?
I was going to say, Carnival Saturday is probably like the most fluid day. It definitely party. I would describe it more as it starts in the afternoon, so not in the morning at 11:11. And it is typically also a day where you go to pubs, where you go to bars. Street carnival is more like going around with friends, but that's not like one big celebration, at least in my experience. And sometimes also that's the day when you get invited to like a house party or similar.
Yes, and also some bars or pubs or Brauhäuser might have a motto for that evening that you can actually book your tickets in advance and go to that party. Also, it's very common also in Cologne that you can book tickets for like a massive tent festival or something for Carnival.
I'm so sorry, you look so funny.
I know you too. But anyways,
your eyes.
What do you do on Carnival Saturday? I mean, what is a Carnival celebration anyways besides looking ridiculous in a costume?
It is pretty much dressing up, meeting up with friends, and dancing to very simple,
sometimes
often sexist, easygoing music that has one beat to, like just dance with it. And have drinks to loosen the atmosphere, get to know strangers. That's especially the time where you just talk to anybody and have a good time. That's pretty much let go of all the things that frustrate you. You know, what happens in Carnival stays in Carnival.
Yes.
People suddenly do things that they would usually never have the guts to do. It's just a very, in German you would say hüllenlos, like very...
letting go. So what I can say is that, for example, if you go to a normal, let's say, bar or whatever, to have a few drinks on a Saturday evening, yeah, there might be some music, people might be talking, you might have, like some fun. However, if you go on a Carnival Saturday, you would see
Steroids.
people like on the tables dancing, yelling, super loud music, loud lights. It's like a whole 180 degrees. It's like a whole different world opens up for these 6 days. It is so crazy. I remember very specifically on a Saturday night, because after my frustration with my friends on a Friday, we decided, okay, let's try Saturday. Maybe it's different. It was different. I remember there was like a group of grannies. Again, for me, what's the most amazing about this time is that both young and very elderly people celebrate alike and in the same area. So there was this group of grannies like in the Altstadt walking. They weren't super drunk, but they were tipsy and they were just like shibbling along like this and shunkling and then singing carnival music. They were having such a good time. And they were, I would say, like 70 or something. Yeah. They looked like pretty elderly.
Yeah.
Also, when you go to a bar, you will find very young people as well as very elderly people, and you just celebrate together. Yeah. That's what I think I like about Carnival.
What you should be prepared for is what you just mentioned. You can book a ticket in advance, or bars for Carnival usually take entrance, specifically also on Saturday. So that is a common thing. There usually also you have to pay for the bathroom because it just gets out of hand and people don't leave it that clean. Yeah. And here comes a very big tip. When choosing your costume and you expect to party for several hours, this might not be the smartest thing because there's nowhere we can actually go to the bathroom without taking everything off. So maybe take that into consideration in your selection.
That is a very good tip. Okay, now that Saturday's done, let's go to the next day. Carnival Sunday! Hey.
Also known as Tulpensonntag.
Hey!
Whee! Now, first things first. We are in the same outfit we've already been in because we would like to answer the question for you, is it okay to wear one costume in German, for the entire carnival season of 1 year, or do you need to change every day? And the answer is, you can go as one costume the entire season. Or you can change it up, it's really up to you.
Yes, that's true. As long as you wash it, because most likely your costume is going to get very dirty for one party. However, I would say the costumes that you've seen so far has been the accumulation of years of celebrating Carnival, because every year we get a new costume or so, and that's why we have some variation.
It's also quite popular to actually make your own costume for Carnival. So if you're into that, there is no need to buy one. Yes. Which, by the way, in the area of the Rhineland, you will see big shops, for example, Deitas, which is only Carnival and costume stuff, and they're open the entire year.
Yes, that is very true. So what happens on Sunday now that I have my super cool costume?
So Sunday is, I would say, a little bit more quiet, or at least not so in your face, because it usually happens in the individual neighborhoods of a city or a town. That being said, it is called, like at least in the Cologne region, the day for the Vedelszüge. And that means the parades in the neighborhoods.
Yes, and usually these parades are targeted more also to kids. So a lot of kids, some of them are actually just for kids. So it's a very friendly day to do stuff with kids and celebrations and things.
And your neighbors. So for example, even in the very small like neighborhood of Bonn that my parents live in, there is usually on Sunday a small parade that goes through the 3, 4, 5 streets that they have. And exactly, it's time to hang out with your neighbors, again, to have fun on the street, maybe then continue afterwards in one of their houses. And like you said, targeted to the kids.
Yes, also here in Düsseldorf on the Kö, like on this area, they have some stands with foods and you might see some different activities. There are actually performers and stuff. It's again, I would say a lot of my friends that have kids, they have gone to Carnival Sunday to celebrate with the kids.
Right.
Because they probably don't want to get wasted with
because everyone else is recovering from Saturday.
Yes, exactly. Okay, now after Sunday is over, we go to, if not one of the most important
biggest day. Yes.
days of Carnival. See you then.
Alaf!
Hello!
Alaf!
No, it's hello. And today is actually Carnival Monday, which is one of the most important, if not the most important day of this whole week.
Rosenmontag.
Where people say hello.
Alaf.
Depending on where you are. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. So what happens on Rosenmontag? That we can agree on, no?
Yes, Rosenmontag, like Jen said, is the biggest day because that is the day where the main parade, der Rosenmontagszug, goes through the city center. It is super long. It takes like 4 to 5 hours actually to go through the entire city. And that is when the masses actually come out onto the streets to watch the parade.
Yes, so what are we talking about masses?
So in Cologne, the epicenter, capital of German Carnival, in 2019, before lockdowns and unfortunately a few quieter years happened, there were 1.5 million people visitors celebrating.
That is crazy. And Düsseldorf, which is the second epicenter of German Carnival, how much were they, do you know?
1 million.
There you go. Okay, 500,000 less.
And then as the third biggest city for the Rosenmontagszug, it's actually Mainz with 500,000 of visitors of the parade.
Yes, that's crazy, right? And do you also wear a costume when you go to the parade?
Yes, of course.
Like us. So what is our costume now?
Well, what are we?
We are a carrot and a bunny. Oh.
There you go. And usually you would also, again, wear something where you can dress warm underneath or, just something around your face and your head to join the crowd. Yes.
Yes. So what happens also here is that this how to say, the floats, the cars that pass by, they tend to be also very political. So they would make fun of either the German government or other governments. But not only that, they have also fun, entertaining float cars. There's cars with music, and the thing that every car does though is that they throw Kamele, which is the equivalent of candy. And they're very even professional people that they go with an umbrella and they open it like upside down to be able to catch all the candy in front of people.
So maybe, I think you were a bit too fast here.
Sorry.
Yeah? So the parade consists of people walking, like musicians and dancers in their costumes. And like Jen said, floats, which are usually pulled by big tractors that sometimes reach like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 meters tall and like 10 meters long, and those get pulled through the streets.
Yes.
So obviously there's also a lot of like protection and like danger happening actually. So don't go too close.
There's no protection. If you would choose a costume that has like a helmet, because those Kamele, that candy can really hit you in the head because it's thrown everywhere. It's quite an adventure.
So once I was actually not a visitor, but like part of the parade with my swimming club in Bonn. We had our own float, and usually each big wheel of a tractor needs to have a person walking in front of it to protect it so no one slides underneath it.
Yeah.
And I was part of the parade to actually throw the candy, and that was a lot of fun.
I can imagine. Did you hit any people in the process?
No, but I could be selective on who I want to get the candy to and who not.
Wow. See, there's a whole science to this thing, right?
So the thing is to go watch the parade. Again, usually you meet up with friends to warm up, like 4 for glühen, the German word. Warm up for glühen with alcohol.
Yes, of course.
So also it's not so cold outside, Then you watch the parade, usually in your city. You find a good spot to see it, and then afterwards either you go home or you continue. It depends a little bit also on the weather, your mood, and what you have to do on Tuesday.
Yes, I would say what you have to do on Tuesday is a big thing. I went to the Rosenmontag here to a parade with some Spanish friends, and after that we met a Latina, Peruvian actually girl, and she invited us to a Latina carnival party that was happening in the Altstadt, and that was a lot of fun. Tuesday, unfortunately, we also had to work, so that was a very hard day. But the Monday, I didn't know there was actually parties happening afterwards too. Another thing is that you can also watch this whole parade happening on TV. So
yes.
every channel has it pretty much, or is it just one channel?
No, I would say it's the public broadcast channels.
Yeah,
the WDR, usually for us, like the Westdeutsche Rundfunk, which if you're into that, totally off topic, a little boring, dry, watch our video on the TV license,
yes.
and you'll learn about that.
Yes, of course. So I would say Rosenmontag is a big thing. And if your company is a big carnivalist company, you might be lucky and have this as an extra public holiday that you can take off. Like you are pretty much forced.
Given to you off.
Yes,
yes.
You're pretty much forced to take the day off if it's a carnivalist company. Like the company closes. There are companies that you call on Rosenmontag and they're like offline, like no one is there, which is crazy. And also what's super interesting is during this time, usually in the city centers, companies or shops, they actually put wooden pieces of wood in front of the windows.
To barricade the windows.
To barricade the windows to protect, because that's how crazy people go. Just letting you know. So don't freak out. It's part of the celebration.
Nothing's happening. The world is not ending, and
yes.
the shops are not closing. They're just protecting their windows.
Yes, exactly. Because the first time I saw that, I'm like, what's going on? And then I realized what was going on. Okay, so officially for a lot of people, I would say Rosenmontag is the last day that you celebrate Carnival.
Yeah.
And Tuesday would be the very hard day that you go back to work.
Or Tuesday is still a carnival day for those that really for those that it's more than just a street party. For I would say like the hardcore people, because on Tuesday there are still events, and especially in the evening when it's dark, it is the burning of, in Cologne, the Nubbel.
Or here the Hoppeditz. I love that word, by the way.
And that pretty much signifies that when that person or that stuffed, I don't know what, is set on fire, that all the sins you committed during the carnival days are gone and not to be touched again.
So this is actually a ceremony to burn all the bad things you did during carnival. That makes sense why everyone goes so crazy.
And then enter land as a very free, clean and properly behaved person.
After you've destroyed your liver for I don't know how many days. So we don't want to leave you hanging, and we will give you some important vocabulary that you should know for Carnival.
Yes, excellent.
Yes.
And the number one word to know is Allah.
Hello. It's the number one word you should know.
Okay, why are we fighting here? So with Carnival, there is a shout out, like this, the commencement and the embracing and the patriotism is very patriotic, as you can see already. And in Cologne and Bonn area, you say Allah, what I grew up with.
And in Düsseldorf and Mainz area, you would say hello, which is what I grew up with as in my German years.
You don't get me to say hello.
And you don't get me to say Allah.
It's there just, although I live here, it's dangerous to say Allah here, but I do it and I've been fine.
Yeah, you've been fine. I think Carnival is a time also for tolerating others. So that's a very important thing.
Then another very important word you might hear or you might be asked to give is a Bützje. And a Bützje is a Kölsch, the Cologne or Rhinish word for kiss. Kiss on the cheek. So it's like, gib mir mal ein Bützje, da kann ich ein Bützje kriegen.
Give me a kiss. I would like to get a kiss.
Yeah. Usually that also is asked for after, as a woman or a man, whatever you want to be, it asks for a Strüsschen. A Strüsschen is usually like a flower. In Carnival, usually the tulip and the clove that also get handed next to candy during the parade. But if you get a tulip or a clove or a Strüsschen, you give a Bützje as a thank you.
Thank you. Wow. So there's a whole ceremony going on there with interchanging.
I made you a bit dark here with my nose.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. Which leading to the Rosenmontag here parade, and we already mentioned this, Kamele! Everyone yells
Not
Kamele.
to be confused with Kamele in German, which would mean camel, yeah? It's Kamele. And Kamele refers to good old bonbons, like drops, actually. That's where it comes from.
So everyone is yelling Kamele. At first I was like, why are they yelling camels? I didn't really get it.
Kamele, Karamelle, like give me the candy, I want to have it. And if you want to catch the candy, don't forget to bring a bag, like a tote bag or something to the parade on Monday to actually collect also the candy and bring it home.
Yes, and actually sometimes you get really random things. Sometimes they throw tempos for whatever reason, which is like the Kleenex or like the tissue paper. Sometimes they throw also condoms. Sometimes they throw like toys.
It has like candy is no longer the only thing.
Yes, that's true.
Also, very important vocabulary for Sunday and Monday is der Zug geht, which pretty much translates into Hochdeutsch, der Zug kommt. Like the parade is coming. Like if you're waiting in anticipation and then you start hearing the music, whenever say, der Zug geht.
Wow, that's super interesting. I had not heard that one before, I must say. Yeah. There you go. Maybe I haven't realized.
One more very important word is schunkeln. Lass mal schunkeln is like when you any stranger, doesn't matter who it is, friend, stranger,
that's what you do.
Do this.
Yes.
To the music, sing, and just have a good time.
Yes.
Then, of course, there is the word Kostüm, which is not so far from costume in English. However, you will probably be asked ahead of the carnival days, als was gehst du dieses Jahr? Meaning, as what do you dress up this year? And then it's referred to the costume, of course.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Another word on your vocabulary that you should definitely know is Klopfer.
Partyklopfer.
Yeah, and Partyklopfer is a shot. And you probably already saw how we drank it at the beginning of this video. And that's how you have to drink it. That's the way. So you should follow that. Klopfer, shot. Stay away from them because they give a very horrible hangover too. Just be warned. And then, of course, the most important word you should know is also alt.
Kölsch.
Beer.
Beer. So here again goes the rivalry between Cologne and Düsseldorf. And that is the type of beer we drink in our regions.
Yes, so in Düsseldorf, you would most likely drink alt beer, although we are very tolerant and we also have Kölsch in some areas that they sell it.
And in Cologne, you drink Kölsch and nothing else. That's it. Kölsch or Kölsch.
So if you're interested about this rivalry of beer or any other kind of beer that you can get in Germany, make sure to check out our Beer Culture in Germany video, which is coming up next, or you can click on it on the card that's coming now. Until next time, and have fun in Carnival. Cheers!